Hello, welcome to yet another episode of Cooking with Heather. Today I'll be making spaghetti. Now I won't be making it from scratch because simply pasta makers cost about $1,000 and I really don't have the patience or the money to play with a pasta maker today. Instead, we're going to use this Healthy Harvest Catelli whole wheat pasta. And what we're first going to do is we're going to start by doing our meat. We're going to fill this with water so this cooks more. We're going to put the meat right there so that we can actually do well. So, because the meat will do better if it's cooked in water. And we're going to get it out of here because I've been thawing it in the event. See, it looks like almost a brain, doesn't it? That is disgusting. But we're going to slink it in there. We're going to clean up our mess later. And so, we're going to start the spaghetti portion now. And we've got a pot for that, which we're just going to wipe out because it's already been cleaned. It's already been cleaned, so there's a nice pot for the spaghetti, and we need one for the sauce because the sauce is important. And I mean, you know Lucille Ball's husband? Ricky used to make such a perfect spaghetti sauce, and I'm not like him by any means, although I wish I was. Because he had such flair, but we're going to do it this way. We're going to make some pasta. And here's some water for the pasta. We're going to set that up. Hopefully the water will boil quickly. Alright, so we need a pot for the sauce, which reminds me we don't have very many pots. So I'll have to pull one out of the dishwasher. They're not very big, unfortunately. We don't have many big pots here. So we're going to have to improvise and pull one out of the sink, which has got a little bit of Unfortunately, that won't work either. We'll find something that works. We will find something that works. I just had a thought. We shall use this blue pot for the sauce. Needs a little dusting, of course. Everything needs dusting, but still the cooking tools are in good form. The cooking tools are in really good form, so we shouldn't worry. And we're just going to have a nice spaghetti dinner, and we're going to make a sauce that's not like Ricky's, or actually Desi Arnaz, I'm sorry. I get his character mixed up sometimes. Desi Arnaz used to make such a beautiful sauce. If you've read his biography, according to Lucille Ball, he had to have it just right before he served it. And, well, we're not going to do that. We are going to put great care into the sauce. Now, just going to do this. We're going to turn this on and we're going to start with some pasta sauce, which may seem somewhat idiotic, but seeing as it's here, we're going to use it. So in it goes, every last bit so we don't waste any. See, Desi Arnaz was such a good actor, and I read his little portions of his life that was written in the book by Lucille Ball, and the sauce thing really cracked me up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use that, and we're going to put some beans. We're going to thaw these. We're going to thaw these beans. And hopefully they'll be ready to go in the sauce very soon. But for now, we're going to open the cans. We're going to open cans that will go in the spaghetti sauce. And we're going to do our best to not make a huge mess because I'm sure that wouldn't be appreciated. We've got some canned olives here. Now, olives are tricky, and here's the thing. You might need a knife to pop them open. But please be careful, because if you touch a lid in the wrong place, your finger will be sliced open. Because right here, if you look very carefully, I sliced my finger open on an olive lid and I required 5 stitches a few years back. So please use caution in the kitchen. We're going to throw those in the sauce to make them yummy. And we're also going to put some other stuff in the sauce if I can find it. Peppers, perhaps. We're going to also put some red peppers in the sauce to make it a little more, to balance out the taste of the olives. Not saying that olives aren't good, but you have to work with the various flavors according to what you add. So, we're just going to do that. And be sure to get this middle thing out because not very many people like seeds in their peppers. These peppers are slightly shriveled, but that doesn't mean they're not useful. So we're just going to do our best with the sauce. You see, we're just going to add this. I hope you're all getting a good view of what I'm doing. I think we may only need to use one pepper. The other one might be too much. So we're just going to do this. Let's shake our hair back so that the hair doesn't get in the food. And see what I'm doing? You can use a steak knife to chop peppers. It's smaller and it's more accurate than a bigger knife. And you can use every piece of the pepper, but maybe this part you should leave out. Because I don't know what you do with it. If you have any ideas for what to do with the green part, do enlighten me. Because I'm a home chef. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. For one, I don't have his temper and I don't swear as much as he does, but I am Scottish. And there we go. And as we always keep our workplace clean, we chop that up and throw away the bits. And now we've got some a can of sliced mushrooms. Be careful with the cans, equally important, because if you touch the can in the wrong place, it could hurt you. This does not look yummy. Little sauce. We may have to get some more sauce from the box. Pardon my moment of clumsiness. Well, it looks like this can opener is being a bit stubborn. So we may not get peas in the sauce unless we can open it another way. There, it was being a stubborn can opener. So we drain the can in the sink. And then we dump the peas into the sauce, which is yummy. It's just really looking good. And then the spaghetti is really starting to boil, so, well, not quite, but it's almost there, so you know what we'll do. We'll just put it in a little early. And so it's not so big, we'll tussle it in half and in quarters. And I mean, this will make a great meal. There's that. It's good to break up the pasta so it's not so much. When you go to cook it and to eat it. Then we're going to add another, and we're just going to cook what we have, because this will make a great amount of meals down the road. lots of leftovers, especially with what my family's going through right now. Sometimes we don't have a lot of time or energy to make meals. So what I did when I was living on my own, I learned how to make mass meals and then put them in a container and eat them over several days. Probably enough. We'll just fill this up a bit more. And put it back on the burner. I mean, it's a lot of spaghetti, but remember, it doesn't have to be just for one meal. It can be for multiple meals as well. And that's good, especially in families who don't have a lot of time, as I said in my last video. Alright, well, we'll clean up our mess later because obviously we have a bit of a mess. But we'll deal with that in a little bit. We're going to go to our sauce now and see how it's doing. I think that we can turn it down a bit. Put that spoon right there and use that for sauce. And I think we can break up some of this hamburger and maybe put a little bit so it will cook. Okay, I'm going to run and get some more sauce because it seems like we need a little more because it's just a bit too thin. Okay, so I wasn't able to find any plain sauce, but I did find this, and it's got some herbs in it. So we'll just have to go with this and be okay with it. So hopefully this sauce will turn out alright, even though there's some other sauce already in the pot. Although, we might not even need it. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But we'll just keep it over here just in case. Okay, for seasoning, we put a little bit of paprika in the spaghetti and in the sauce. Some oregano in the spaghetti for just some flavor as it sits there cooking. Alright, that means the hamburger wants some attention. Now let's see what the hamburger needs. You know what? I think it needs a little bit more water. So there we go, there's some more water for it. And the spaghetti's coming along quite nicely. So where were we? Oh yes, oregano leaves in both the sauce and spaghetti. Italian seasoning. Here's some for the spaghetti and for the sauce, and maybe some seasoning on the meat as well. Just because. Don't ever hold it in front of your nose because it's got quite a smell. Alright, some crushed red pepper. Now this will add flavor to about everything. Since we've already got red pepper in the sauce, we don't need to add a lot of red pepper. But we can add it to the hamburger. And we've got some dill weed. Now this is a little trivia for you fans of a specific genre. What movie was dill weed mentioned in? It's in a very special scene of Star Trek Generations. Watch for it, but you'll notice that dill weed is mentioned. So we're going to plop that in there and maybe plop a little bit on the hamburger because we can't have that flavorless, otherwise it'll taste bad. And some chicken spice. You know what? I normally wouldn't do that to the spaghetti, but I think I will just to see how it will taste. And maybe, yeah. And a bit of salt. Whoopsie. I'll just taste the spaghetti once everything's mixed in. That actually doesn't taste too bad. And the sauce. We might, you know what, we might actually add some extra sauce. just because I don't know if there will be enough. We can do that later. For now, I need to find a bowl. And here's a nice big perfect bowl. It'll serve as perfect holding for the spaghetti and sauce once it's all done. This sauce should be just about done. And this hamburger may take a little longer just because it's temperamentally high. And it was partially frozen. So yeah, we'll do some cleaning up while we're waiting for the food to smarten up. So. I mean, we didn't overdo it on the spices, so hopefully it'll taste good. And we must remember to always throw away what we don't need in terms of in terms of boxes and cans. It must always be neat and tidy. So yeah, that's cooking very splendidly indeed. It should be done any second. Maybe a little bit more oregano. And a touch of salt. I thought about doing some beans, but I'm not sure if I will, just simply because of the length of time it takes to put everything of this together, and I think it's good. So we'll just get the strainer ready because something's got to be ready soon. Personally, I think the spaghetti will be ready first. It's only a matter of how many more minutes. It should be ready very soon by the time I get the strainers. So we'll get some strainers. Sorry for that interruption, folks. When the camera's left dormant recording too long, it has a temper of its own. So it looks like the spaghetti is done. That's amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat on low. We're going to take it off the heat and try not to drop it. We're going to dump it in the strainer. We're going to scrape out all the spare spaghetti because we don't need to waste food if we can help it. I'm not done with this, by the way. We're going to shake it out and put it back in the pot. And you ask, why are we doing this? Why am I doing this? Because we're going to mix the sauce with the spaghetti. Okay, and that's that with that. And now we're going to mix the sauce in. Because I think it could really use some company and this blue thing, and I don't... Yeah. We can still use this spaghetti. We can use the sauce thing now. The sauce spoon now because it's all mixed in and it's just looking really nice. But yes, we did forget some olives, didn't we? So we'll just scrape those out. And you know, we might add some extra sauce. Just because. There doesn't seem to be enough. So this has some veggies in it. But the good news for us is it's very healthy. Gotta use all the sauce so we're not wasting food. So it's going in very nicely indeed. And just so you know, this is Spaghetti Supreme. it's really got a nice smell to it. And all we're waiting on is the hamburger. So we'll just let that cook for a bit and do some more cleanup. Should be ready in plenty of time. But for now, I'm just doing a little bit of kitchen maintenance, which is important when you're cooking a meal. Granted, the kitchen's a bit messy, but what kitchen is it? Unless, of course, you're going to So honestly, do you hear that bubbling? It means the hamburger may be done very soon. So yay! And honestly, I think this spaghetti is turning out really nice. And it's starting to bubble a bit, so we might just have to turn it down. And it'll look amazing. I've cooked spaghetti plenty of times, but never on camera. So I'm hoping that this will be wonderful. In fact, I have faith that it will be. Great faith that spaghetti will turn out nicely is important, and no faith at all. We can put back what we're not using while we wait for the hamburger to finish. And because of everything involved, we're going to use a dishwasher, so don't help me for my lazy. Because honestly, the dishwasher's probably best right now, given the amount of cooking that I've done. And then we're going to throw this jar away because maybe there's a little bit more. I don't know. happened to be a little bit more in there, so now we can throw the jar away. So of course the counter is clean once again. The rest isn't clean, but we don't have to worry about that right now. So this is spaghetti supreme or special spaghetti or whatever you want to call it. Summer spaghetti, since summer's almost over. There's a million things you could call it. And you know what? The meat's getting there. It's not quite done yet. Hopefully it should be done soon, Howie. And so that's a simple but very tantalizing meal. Summer, I guess all-season spaghetti would be appropriate because you can even have it in the winter too. You can have it whenever you want. So really, it's very important we're definitely just cleaning up at this point. Hopefully the meat won't take much longer. That's the thing with meat. Whenever you cook with meat, you have to know patience. Because it takes a long time. And sometimes you get very frustrated. Because you don't want to be patient. So honestly, all we're doing at this point is just cleaning up our mess. And cleaning up some other additional things that need to be cleaned. And so that darn meat is ready. Alright, well that's pretty clean. So the thing is covered. It's like boiling right now, which is really good. It's cooking and it's going to be so nice. we're going to check on the meat again. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to strain. And then, what we're going to do is we're going to break it up a bit. So that we can put it in and there won't be tons of meat clumped together. Alright, and there's the hamburger done. So we're going to dump it in. And put this in the dishwasher. Just because of the amount of dishes used and such, the dishwasher is so much more convenient than doing it by hand. I mean, I wouldn't encourage this if you have children because they need responsibility. Until they need to learn how to do the dishes, just so they can learn responsibility. But if you're using lots of dishes and you don't have the energy to wash the dishes using the dishwasher from time to time, it's okay. Alright, and we'll go in for a nice little close-up because it looks pretty well done to me. Look at that. There's hamburgers, there's peas, there's peppers. There's spaghetti sauce, both plain and stuffed with seasoning. And oh my goodness, there's hamburger in there and there's spaghetti. I was going to do some beans, but I don't think that you can get a meal any more filling. So we're just going to... This has been a Cooking with Heather episode. Doesn't that look yummy? No, I didn't eat it. But I encourage all of you to make this and eat it, because it's very well done. Bye.